Alright guys, UFC 97, this was Chuck the Iceman Lidell taking on Shogun, and obviously I was not a UFC fan at this time. I don't remember this match. I've went back and I've watched a lot of UFC. Now, I still hardly know anything there is to know about UFC. I've been watching a lot on Spike, UFC Undisputed, I believe that's what it's called. And they basically have 3 or 4 matches they've thrown together, kind of like a past show, a history show. And you just watch a bunch of matches. And I went back and I've watched a lot of ones. John Jones, Shogun, Anderson Silva, so many different matches. And I'm learning more about UFC as we go. And I think this is one of the challenges in UFC 2010. And with UFC 3 coming out, I've been really excited. I've been trying to learn more. You know, I'm never going to know as much as somebody like Smalls or anybody that's big into UFC, but it's still entertaining to watch. You know, some of the shit they've been doing. You'll see at the end of this video how Chuck Liddell finishes off the match, and I'm sorry to blow it for you here, but Chuck Liddell is going to pick up the victory here. One of the hardest things, I think for me, was with UFC. I guess I really never paid attention to Spike, and you know, with WWE and UFC, there's no way I could ever buy both pay-per-views, and I don't ever buy WWE pay-per-views anymore. I think I only bought one in my lifetime, and that was, I think a year or 2 ago. God, what pay-per-view did I buy? I went to Bragging Rights 2 years ago, or a year ago, and I bought, it wasn't SummerSlam. It was, God damn, I can't remember what pay-per-view it was that I bought, but I bought one. And I always forget about the UFC streams because UFC, their pay-per-view, they run the free matches on Spike or Facebook, and then they have the main card. And, you know, there's a lot of, you know, matches on HBO or Showtime, whichever channel it's on that Smalls keeps telling me about. But I don't have HBO or Showtime. I used to years ago. Now I don't. And I just kind of watch what comes available. I recently picked up, Jesus Christ, there's a fly on me. I recently picked up EA MMA, and, you know, that game just dropped off the face of the planet. As far as price went, that game just pummeled. And I feel the controls are a lot easier, but at the same time, it's not as, how do I want to say, as refined, as mastered as UFC 2010. And UFC's got a much more fluent roster, definitely. God, I can't even think of what I was going to say. I'm just kind of blown away. You know, I've been going back and, you know, whether it's Mirko Krokop's fucking huge-ass leg kick that knocks him out. I think, what did Smalls say? Right in the left in the hospital, right in the grave or something like that. I'm sorry for butchering that, but I played as him one game, and I had one fucking leg kick that went to the head, just knocked the dude out, and I was really fucking excited. Now, if you're a huge UFC fan, and you're mad because I'm butchering all the references or anything like that, that's perfectly fine. I'm not trying to be, you know, an end-all, be-all, know-it-all. I like the sport. It's the same thing with FIFA. I like to watch football occasionally. I like to play the game. That doesn't mean I know everything about it, and that's something that people on YouTube seem to have a problem with, that if you don't know everything there is to know about this specific game or sport you're playing, you better not do it. How dare you do something that you don't know everything about? You should be a know-it-all genius. Oh, damn, look at Shogun. Whew. God damn. Anyway, so when I've been watching UFC fights, I guess now when I'm doing a video commentary, I blanked out on some of them. But, you know, Chuck Liddell does a spinning hammer throw, whatever the hell it's called here, and just fucking dominates it. And I think the one reason why I never got into UFC, and one, I really didn't know much about it, to be honest with you. Like, I would see the Octagon, and I would see, you know, when Lesnar went over. You know, last year when Batista left to go do an MMA, he still has yet to debut. Although I did see a picture of him. He's a hell of a lot skinnier. He's getting a lot more in shape. You know, he was already beast in it as far as body goes. But, you know, he's a lot more in shape as far as weight goes now. UFC was just, to me, it is real fighting, you know. I mean, there's no proof that it's ever been rigged, because there's some nasty shit that goes on. And I think one of the coolest things I saw was one of my favorite shows on TV. Holy shit, there it is. Chuck Liddell is The Buried Life. And The Buried Life, Dave went on, and one of his things was to be in a real fight. And if you guys know The Buried Life, if you haven't seen it, go to Netflix. You guys can watch it on the instant streaming if you have it. And he trains for 3 weeks. He put up a hell of a fight. In the second, third round, he was about ready to be done. I think it was the third round. And then he breaks his thumb. He was just dominating this other dude. And then he breaks his thumb, and it was a TKO, and they had to stop it. Jesus Christ, Chuck Liddell knocking Shogun out. This was a pretty beast match, guys. My name is Tubby Emu. Come over to Facebook.com/Tubby Emu. If you want to see more UFC from me, leave a comment in the section below. Guys, this one is in the books, but don't fret. You can come over to TubbyNation.com and the ThreatShow.com coming very soon, guys. Peace.